Republican Congressman Doug LaMalfa faced a heated crowd at a town hall in Chico, California yesterday. Constituents voicing frustration as LaMalfa defended President Trump's sweeping agenda and presidential authority.
Much power is vested in the executive branch, and we've seen that grow over the years and years with the executive orders. The Biden era set, for example.
Wow. CBS News congressional correspondent Nicole Killian has more on this for us this morning. Good morning, Nicole. So we heard a bit of booing there. How bad was it, though? And what does it tell us about the political climate for some Republicans as they face challenges selling the president's agenda locally?
Well, I think we've seen a number of testy town halls, not only over the August recess, but earlier this year as well. So it's not necessarily an anomaly. We do know that Congressman LaMalfa also faced a pretty heated crowd at a second town hall later in the evening in a town called Red Bluff. So look, there are some constituents who were upset or didn't agree with his support of the president's recently passed a big beautiful bill, concerned about the potential cuts to Medicaid, some concerned about his stance with respect to the war between Israel and Gaza. Some constituents even called on him to resign, but there were some constituents who did stand up for him, saying that he's simply trying to do his job. That certainly was the point that LaMalfa tried to make to his constituents. But look, this isn't necessarily stopping some Republicans and Democrats, for that matter, for continuing with some of these town halls. We know, for instance, there's a congressman in Indiana. He is actually touting the president's big, beautiful bill with a tour across his state. Similarly, or I'd say to the contrary, you have Democrats who in some cases are targeting red districts to try to speak out against the bill. So everyone has their own particular tactics and strategies in terms of trying to navigate this current political climate. But suffice it to say, there aren't a ton of these town halls happening right now. And those that are taking place in person, as you noted, some have gotten pretty tense.
And all of this is, I guess, an alignment, things moving ahead of next year's midterms. You've been reporting that the NAACP is now kicking off a series of town halls across the country with the aim of mobilizing black voters. What more can you tell us about that effort?
Yeah, that's right. Well, the NAACP is really trying to get out ahead of the midterms, more than a year ahead of the midterms, by launching the series of town halls, one of which starts today in New Jersey. But these are town halls that will take place all across the country in states like Texas, California, Maryland, also many states in the South, North Carolina, and others. So this is really an effort to try to mobilize African American voters. That is something that the NAACP was instrumental in doing during the presidential election, investing some $20 million to try to turn out the vote and enhance their get out the vote operations. So they're just getting an early start with respect to the midterms. A lot of the focus on these town halls, though, will continue to be on the Trump administration's policies with respect to the big, beautiful bill, the recent rollbacks of DEI policies, how that's impacting the African-American community. So it's a chance to talk about these issues, but also to try to recruit more volunteers and voters and bring them into the fold.
And Nicole, how important will that be come midterm elections when it comes to the Black American participation rate? When you look at how we got Trump, or how Trump was reelected, and how Black Americans factored into that?
Well, clearly we did see the president kind of expand or make some gains with African-American voters, more specifically African-American men. He performed better than he did in past cycles. Also, same with respect to Latino men and Latino voters. But, some of that support has been on the fence in light of some of these policies. So certainly the NAACP is looking to galvanize voters around some of these issues, also understanding that we typically see lower turnout in the midterm elections relative to a presidential election, but certainly many believe that this midterm in particular will be critical.
Yeah, we'll be watching. Nicole Killian, great to see you. Thanks so much.